Welcome back to Tools and Track. This is the Dannykart build. My friend Danny is a tetraplegic. That means he's got nothing that works from the shoulders down. Many years ago he bought himself a Robin Hood kit car because he wanted to have a better quality of life and have his friends drive him around, and that's exactly the kind of car that he can be hoisted in and out of. However, a few years ago that Robin Hood developed a fault, and then Danny contacted me to see if I could fix the engine for him. Me being me, I decided to get imaginative, and I've decided to convert the whole car so that it actually has some form of driving ability and can possibly manoeuvre it from the passenger seat. In the first few episodes, I decided to bench test whether that principle would work, and in the last episode we actually had a working jig that we decided we were going to go and set and work on pedals. Then ultimately I decided this is a completely dumb idea because the pedals aren't what represents his car. So in this episode, finally, we're going to go and get the car and start doing this properly. Like, bell, subscribe. Let's go build some stuff. Right, we're at Danny's. We have a car and we have a substantially long trailer. We've also got rain, and in 4 hours time we've got rain just kicking off right in front of where my unit is. So what could possibly go wrong? Let's hustle and see if we can get this thing loaded up. Starting with getting the cover off it. This is Danny's car, finally. I know we had a quick view of it early on, but this is the actual basis for this project. I didn't think the first thing that would snag me here is a knot, but
teeny tiny little knot.
we'll get it, but the fact that it's soaking wet isn't helping. So, plan of attack here. Being it's a residential bit, I'm going to move the tow rig back a wee bit. I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to have to actually drive this on, so I'm going to need some space. Pushing it. Well, that was treacherous, but we got there. Now we just need to lash her down and let Danny know that we took his car because I don't think he's out the shower yet. So yes, success.
Batman and Robin. Let's just check his work. Oh yeah, that's fine. This is why I'm here. Just make sure everything's just right. Yep, that's fine. Yep, it's up to code as well. Just here to make sure this is up to code. Is it up to code? Yeah, it's up to code, that's fine. Yep.
You know what's not up to code?
Yeah.
Weather. My weather preparation motor point. I live in Scotland, so I should be used to this by now. What a lovely day. I was going to go lovely, but that'll get cancelled really quick. This isn't the first time I have had to tow a car, and despite that, I've just realised the end of this road is a dead end after loading the car up. So now I have a fully laden trailer and I need to do a 3-point turn. So there's nothing like a good test on a day, and it's going to be in the rain as well. Perfect. Right, let's go. Every time I need to move something, there's traffic somewhere. Right, that's the drama part over, or just beginning, depending on what your temperament is. But I'm going to go get rid of a trailer, and I'm going to put this in the air and see just how bad it is. So we have now put it in the air, just to start with the engine thing, because obviously the engine makes knocking noises. And, in my mind, let's start planning how we're going to adapt this to be a car that can drive itself. That plan promptly left the window as soon as the car was in the air, and we've seen what's going on, which is a few crimes. We'll point out some of the crimes. So I've got a torch just to help the viewers see some of the crimes. So the first crime, as you'll note, right, torch, unpainted chassis, not stainless steel. That pretty much follows from the back to the front of the car, so we'll gloss over that at this immediate stage. But I am impressed that Robin Hood will sell you an entire chassis unpainted. Then we get to the suspension on the back. You'll see here an interesting arrangement of strut, knuckle. I don't know what the whole point of the knuckle is, because above it there seems to be some homemade telescopic damper with absolutely no dampening ability, which just goes up and down like that and provides no stability whatsoever. So the whole back end of the car pretty much, when you go over a bump, just floats in midair. Moving more towards the front, you'll see here angle iron, the staple of all good kit car builders, and that seems to be holding a handbrake assembly, and there is a couple of odd, not quite straight line bolts, which suggests to me point number one, this Sierra rear subframe may not have been part of this original kit. And I'll get to more reasons why that might be the case as we move further forward. Now, we had originally planned to put an automatic gearbox in this, and I had also planned to take the manual out with the engine. Now, one of the first things you need to do when you do that gearbox thing is remove the prop. So that'll be an entire floor off to do that, unless we just slide it forward and hope for the best. Sliding it forward is going to be interesting though, and I use tilt forward, slide forward as a leading segue. If you stand back a slight bit, cameraman, and focus on this, you'll notice we have an interesting downward pointing engine trajectory, which is unique. And I was initially puzzled by this, but foolishly pleased because it meant the sump had loads of access. And then the big boy engineer had kicked in and went, yeah, but why? So if you look towards the front engine mounts, you'll see here a section of 1.2 millimeter plate, more or less just floating in fresh air, that is attempting to hold this engine in and failing drastically. Then we have a nice sawn section of the tube steel that this Robin Hood's built for, which you could argue maybe should go to this sawn bit here to support what was the original engine, that this has clearly been replaced and a pinto has been put in its place. This, you could argue, might be structural and may have something to do with holding an entire car together through the middle, but it's been removed for reasons known best only to the previous kit car builder. This is why, generally speaking, I've made 100 episodes of Low Cost and said I don't want to be identified as a generic kit car builder, because this is the crimes you find with generic kit car building. This is a huge, huge worry for me, because this fundamentally makes the car completely unsafe. And the fact that the car actually has an engine that's tilting downwards suggests that these should maybe be parallel. They're not. So the whole thing is starting to sag down under the weight of the main driveline, which is a worry. And I've not even started on what might be the rod knock, which is the whole reason we brought it down for. So I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee and a wee think about life. But while we're here, let's get the sump off and see what the hell's going on inside this engine. Fairly sure you shouldn't be able to see daylight through that bit.
What are we doing just now, Tommy?
At the moment, I am checking to see which big end isn't actually tight, to see if there's clear and present wear. I was pretty much 100% on one of these being away, but either it's just too tight to move by hand or actually okay.
Just for the viewers like me, what's a big end?
So these are your main bearings. That's what the crank will spin on. The big end is the big end of the con rod. That's a big end bearing that you get in there. And then the small end is basically the bit where the con rod goes into the top of the piston.
Ooh.
It's had something run through it, but
Yeah.
it's ruined. Yeah.
Crank's okay.
Something's run. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Can't really see because there's a fucking torch in my face. Yeah, okay, that's quite bad. Yeah.
But
It would not knock.
it would not knock.
Okay, well let's just put this back on and not really think about that for the moment. So sure. I was so sure it was going to be this.
I mean, they're not good. They're not good. But
No, but I mean they're not knock. Thankfully I can't use this because it's a copyright strike.
And the worst thing is Sandu actually does, but he will copyright this.
Right, we have deeper problems than what I even worried we had, which was rod knock. So it's something even further in the engine. There's time to do a desperado about this. Right, I don't actually know what to do. This, with the best will in the world, I has lots of hopes and dreams this would be simple. It's not. Like I say, we're gonna have to take the engine out. I can't find a obvious knock, but it's not going to fit in it anyway. It's already just about taking itself out. I'm glad the ramp goes up and down at the pace it does, because if it went up any faster, the engine would be sat on the floor. There's too many crimes here, and I need a plan. So we're going to wrap up here, because I need time to come up with a plan. So in the meantime, like, bell and subscribe, because that's all the stuff. And apparently now you also need to hype. I'm going to do a separate video on hype, but if you see the button that says hype, press it. It won't turn you, it's somewhere around about here. Don't actually worry, it doesn't affect you in any way, but we need it. I'll explain. We're not finished. We are going to persevere with this. I'm going to speak to Danny. I'm going to come up with a plan. But until next weekend, please do drive safe.